Oh, inherited wealth and children. Yeah,
kids inheriting money.
Yeah. Well, we have a minority viewpoint down here in the front row. I think my views on that subject changed when I was about 18. Until that point, I thought it would have been a great idea. No, I am quite a believer in a meritocracy, and I think a part of that is not having people start way ahead of other people in life based on whether they were lucky enough to come from the right womb or not. So I've never been big on the idea that either society benefited or in many cases the kids, although I think that's much more problematic. But by the fact that great transfers of wealth will go from one generation to another, I would rather see the degree of talent possessed by individuals determine the resources they command in this world and their ability to influence other people's lives and command the labor of other people and all of that than any divine right of the womb. So it's and Charlie has a somewhat different view on that.
Yeah, I am a little more willing to let the world take the succeeding generations down. It's
He believes in
I don't
passing
think they need much help.
Charlie believes in passing it along as long as you're sure they're going to blow it. Okay, so go ahead.
If you stop to think, Warren, of the great fortunes of yore, if you go back to 1900, 1870, and name me the people that have vast power because they are in the fourth generation in that family. Some of them are living awfully well, but they are not running the world.
I would say the Rockefeller family had considerably more influence than if their name had been, just plain Rock.
Well, I think that's true, but you're picking probably the strongest single family of the piece. And now that it's dispersed among 60 or 70 or 80 Rockefeller, I think it's true there were 4 or 5 brothers there that had an unusual share of worldly influence. I must say, in that case, I think they handled it very well.
Zone 7.